Sometimes, the loudest feelings are expressed without a single word. When a man truly likes someone, he may not always come out and say it. He might not confess his feelings or make bold moves. But if you look closely, his actions will tell you everything you need to know. Attraction, after all, isn't always shown through grand gestures. It's in the quiet moments, the small changes, the things he does without thinking you'll even notice. Have you ever felt like a guy was doing just a little extra when you were around? Maybe he fixed his shirt when you walked by, or he showed up at a place you just happened to mention. Maybe he remembered a random thing you said weeks ago that even you forgot. These things might seem small or even coincidental, but they're not. They're signals, silent, subtle, and deeply telling. When a man likes you, he often tries to impress you not with flashy words, but through behavior that reveals how much your presence matters to him. The truth is, many men aren't always comfortable expressing emotion directly. Whether it's fear of rejection, shyness, or just their personality, they may choose to speak through action instead of words. And that's exactly where their real feelings hide, in the way they carry themselves around you, in the extra effort they put in without you asking, and in how much they start to mirror the emotional connection they feel inside. That's why these silent signs are so important. They reveal what's going on beneath the surface. Because when someone likes you, they want to be seen in a certain light. They want to stand out without appearing desperate. They want to be close without making things awkward. So they find these quiet, almost invisible ways to show interest. By helping you, remembering your words, watching your reactions, and trying, again and again, to be the reason you smile. You don't need a love confession to know when someone is genuinely drawn to you. You just have to notice how they behave when they think you're not watching. That's when the truth shows up. In the effort, the presence, and the quiet need to be near you. And once you know what to look for, these signs become impossible to ignore. In this video, we're diving deep into 9 of the most common but unnoticed ways a man tries to impress you without ever saying the words out loud. These behaviors may be subtle, but together they paint a powerful picture of how he truly feels. If you've ever wondered whether someone is silently trying to get your attention, this might finally give you the clarity you've been looking for. 1. He fixes his appearance when you're around. When a man is interested in someone, one of the most subtle yet revealing things he does is adjust or fix his appearance when that person is around. This act may seem small, almost unconscious, but it often speaks volumes about his desire to impress and be noticed. You might catch him running his fingers through his hair, straightening his shirt, adjusting his watch, or even checking his reflection in a nearby window or phone screen. These small behaviors aren't always deliberate, but they stem from a natural instinct to present oneself in the best possible way when someone special is near. Men are often not as vocal or expressive about their emotions as women might be, so instead of saying how they feel, they show it in actions. Fixing their appearance is one such action. It's not just about looking good in general, it's about looking good for you. He may start dressing better when he knows he'll see you, swapping out casual clothes for something more stylish, maybe even wearing a fragrance he thinks you'll like. He's paying attention to how he presents himself in your presence, because your opinion matters to him, even if he doesn't say it out loud. This behavior also shows a level of nervousness or excitement. When someone important walks into the room, we become more self-aware. That's exactly what happens here. He might not realize he's standing straighter, fixing his sleeves, or brushing imaginary lint off his shirt. But these movements often come from a place of wanting to be seen in a positive light. He wants you to notice him, not just physically, but as someone who's put effort into how he looks because you're worth impressing. Even in group settings, his body language changes slightly when you're near. He might check his hair in a reflection, make sure his breath smells good, or suddenly become aware of how he's sitting or standing. All of these signs suggest he's tuning into your presence. It's not about vanity, it's about impression. He may not be bold enough to say, "I like you," but his actions, like adjusting his appearance, are his way of silently expressing that he wants to be noticed, remembered, and maybe even admired by you. 2. He suddenly starts talking about his achievements. When a man is interested in someone, one of the silent ways he tries to impress is by suddenly bringing up his achievements in conversation. He may not do it in a bragging or arrogant way, but you'll notice that out of nowhere, he starts mentioning things he's done, goals he's reached, or experiences that reflect his capability, success, or ambition. These moments often come across casually, as if they're part of the story he's telling, but there's usually more to it. He's trying to show you that he's someone worth admiring. This could include anything from his job title, promotions, side business, athletic milestones, or even small wins that he believes will make you see him as valuable or accomplished. He might say things like, "When I launched that project at work," or "back when I was leading the team." In conversations that don't necessarily require those details, it's his way of slipping in signals about his worth without directly saying, "Look how impressive I am." It's subtle marketing of himself, meant just for your ears, even if others are present. Sometimes, these comments come when he's unsure of how to connect emotionally, so he turns to the tangible, his resume, his stories, and his past victories. For him, it's a form of attraction. He's hoping that by showing you what he's achieved, you'll look at him with admiration or curiosity. It's also his way of communicating that he's dependable, goal-driven, and serious about his future, qualities many people find attractive in a potential partner. You may notice that he becomes more animated or confident when talking about these things. His voice might change slightly. He may lean in more, make more eye contact, or even glance at you afterward to see your reaction. It's a performance, but not in a fake way. It's just his instinctive effort to stand out. Deep down, he wants you to see him as someone who's going somewhere, who's more than ordinary, and someone who could offer something stable or inspiring. He may not realize it, but when he talks about his accomplishments around you, it's not just about pride. It's about connection, approval, and silent admiration. 3. He subtly tries to make you laugh. When a man is trying to impress you, one of the most natural and subtle things he'll do is try to make you laugh. Humor is a powerful connection tool, and if he likes you, he'll want to be the reason you smile. But unlike a loud class clown or a stand-up comedian, his efforts might be softer, more careful, like witty one-liners, light teasing, or playful observations that he hopes will catch your attention without making it obvious that he's trying too hard. He'll pay attention to what kind of humor you respond to, whether you like dry sarcasm, goofy jokes, clever comments, or even silly little gestures. If he notices that a certain type of joke made you laugh once, he'll repeat that style more often when you're around. It's his way of showing you that he's in tune with you and that your reaction matters to him. Your laughter becomes a form of reward for him, a silent signal that he's made a positive impact. Sometimes he'll laugh at his own jokes nervously, just to fill the silence, hoping you'll join in. Other times, he'll carefully wait and watch your face for any smile or grin. He may even joke about things that relate to shared moments or inside jokes, something only the two of you would understand. That shared humor creates a tiny, private world between you, and that's exactly what he wants. To feel close to you in a way no one else can. Even when he's in a group, he may direct his humor toward you more than others. He'll angle his punchlines your way, glance at you for your reaction first, and subtly tune his energy to yours. It's not just about being funny, it's about being noticed by you. Humor becomes his silent strategy to stand out without looking like he's trying too hard. And the more he succeeds in making you laugh, the more confident he feels around you. At its core, his effort to make you laugh isn't just about entertainment. It's about creating comfort, building trust, and forming an emotional connection. Even if he never says it outright, Those little attempts to bring a smile to your face say a lot about how he feels. 4. He listens carefully and remembers small details. When a man truly likes you and wants to impress you without being too obvious, one of the most meaningful ways he'll show it is by listening carefully and remembering the small details you share. It might not seem like a big deal at first, but when someone is genuinely interested, they don't just hear your words, they hold on to them. He'll pay attention when you talk about your favorite food, a story from childhood, a stressful day at work, or even something as simple as how you take your coffee. What makes this silent sign so powerful is how subtle and consistent it is. He may surprise you later by bringing up something you mentioned once, casually, in passing. Maybe you told him you love sunflowers, and a few weeks later he sends you a photo of a sunflower field, or he casually mentions a cafe you once said you liked. These aren't grand gestures, but they're incredibly thoughtful. And they say, without words, I'm paying attention to you. This kind of listening goes beyond basic politeness. He's not just nodding along, he's mentally storing things that matter to you because you matter to him. It's his way of showing value, of making you feel seen and understood. Often people overlook how rare it is to be truly listened to, so when he not only hears you, but also remembers and acts on it, it builds a deeper connection. You might notice he follows up on things you mentioned earlier. If you told him you were nervous about a meeting, he'll ask how it went. If you casually said your dog was sick, he'll check in later to see if it's better. These small follow-ups reveal care and interest, things that can't be faked. He may not say, I like you, but his memory becomes the quiet proof of his feelings. In a world where most people forget half of what others say, his ability to remember the tiny, seemingly insignificant things becomes a silent kind of devotion. He's not doing it to impress the world. He's doing it to impress you in the most genuine, respectful, and emotionally intelligent way. 5. He shows off his knowledge in casual conversations. When a man is trying to impress you in a quiet, non-obvious way, one of the things he often does is show off his knowledge during casual conversations. This doesn't mean he becomes arrogant or overbearing. Instead, he subtly steers the conversation towards topics where he feels confident, where he knows he can speak well, sound intelligent, and stand out. It's not about dominating the discussion, but about letting you see his depth, his interests, and the things he's proud to know. He might suddenly bring up a topic you mentioned before, and then share interesting facts about it. If you talked about a place you want to visit, he may casually mention something unique about that location. If you bring up a movie or book, he might dive into details that reveal he's either well-read, thoughtful, or passionate. Even in group settings, he might lean into topics like science, history, business, or culture, whatever makes him feel strong and smart, and look to you to see how you're reacting. Often this behavior comes from a place of wanting to be seen as capable and impressive without appearing like he's trying too hard. It's his quiet way of saying, I have something to offer. He wants you to think of him as someone who's not only attractive, but also intelligent, informed, and worthy of your attention. You might notice he becomes slightly more animated or excited when he starts explaining something. He's trying to share his passion with you and hopes it catches your interest. This can also be a form of gentle competition. If others are talking, he may join in with a fact, a story, or an insight that sets him apart. But the real giveaway is where his attention goes. He's watching you to see if you're impressed. He's not trying to educate everyone around him. He's hoping to leave an impression on the one person who matters most in that moment, you. Even if he doesn't openly say how he feels, this behavior reveals his intentions. By showing off his knowledge in casual, low-pressure ways, he's giving you a glimpse of who he is, hoping you'll be intrigued enough to look closer. It's quiet, thoughtful, and intentional, just like many of the signs a man shows when he's truly interested. 6. He helps you without being asked. When a man is genuinely interested in you, one of the most telling signs is how quickly and willingly he offers help. especially without you even asking. This behavior isn't about showing off or expecting something in return. It's rooted in a quiet desire to be useful, to make your life easier, and to be someone you can rely on. Even in small, everyday situations, he'll notice when you need something and step in before you even realize it. Maybe you're struggling to carry something heavy, and he instantly offers to take it. Or you mention you're having a bad day, and he shows up with your favorite snack or sends a thoughtful message to lift your mood. You might casually talk about a problem you're facing, and later he comes up with a solution or even takes action to help fix it. These gestures don't come with fanfare or demands for praise. They come quietly, sincerely, and consistently. This type of help is different from general kindness because it's personalized. He listens, pays attention, and remembers what matters to you. If you mention being cold, he'll offer his jacket. If your phone is dying, he'll find a charger without being asked. If you're overwhelmed, he might offer to take care of small tasks or just be there to support you. It's in these subtle, thoughtful acts that his care reveals itself most honestly. His instinct to help you is also a sign of emotional investment. He wants to be the one you think of when you're in need, not because he wants control, but because being there for you gives him a sense of purpose and closeness. He may never say out loud that he likes you, but these actions speak for him. He wants to be useful in your world, and every time he quietly steps in to assist, it's his way of saying, "I care." You'll know it's genuine because he doesn't make a big deal out of it. He won't keep track of what he's done for you or expect anything back. His reward is your comfort, your smile, or simply knowing he made things easier for you. Helping without being asked is one of the purest ways a man can show affection, because it's not about words, it's about presence, intention, and heart. 7. He mirrors your body language. When a man is drawn to you and wants to silently connect, one of the most subconscious things he might do is mirror your body language. This means he begins to subtly reflect the way you move, sit, speak, or even gesture, without even realizing it. It's a psychological response rooted in attraction and emotional alignment. People naturally mirror those they feel connected to. And when a man mirrors you, it's his body's way of saying, "I feel in sync with you." You might notice that when you lean forward during a conversation, he does the same a few seconds later. If you cross your arms, he eventually mirrors that position. If you tilt your head or smile, his body responds in a similar way. Even the pace at which you speak or breathe can influence his rhythm. These subtle shifts aren't forced. They happen naturally when someone is fully present and emotionally tuned into the person they're with. This kind of mirroring builds a silent sense of closeness. It creates comfort, as if you're both on the same wavelength without needing to say much. He may not be aware that he's doing it, but it happens because he's emotionally engaged. His focus is on you, and his body instinctively adjusts to match your energy and presence. It's a physical reflection of psychological connection. Mirroring also signals respect and attention. When he mimics your posture or gestures, it shows he's listening not just to your words, but to your entire being. He's attuned to your mood, your tone, and your energy. Even if he doesn't verbally express his feelings, these non-verbal cues often speak louder than words. It's not about copying, it's about syncing, bonding, and feeling aligned with you. This behavior becomes especially noticeable over time. The more he likes you, the more often it happens. Whether you're sitting across from him at a table, walking side by side, or talking in a group, his body naturally starts to follow your lead. It's a quiet but powerful sign that he's not only attracted to you, but deeply affected by your presence. Through mirroring, he's expressing something simple yet meaningful. He feels connected, and he wants you to feel it too. 8. He tries to stay calm and composed in front of you when a man is interested in you and wants to make a good impression. One of the quiet ways he shows it is by trying to stay calm and composed whenever you're around. Even if he's nervous or excited on the inside, he'll make an effort to appear steady, confident, and in control. This isn't about being emotionless. It's about managing how he comes across to you. He wants to seem mature, reliable, and collected because he knows that first impressions and subtle moments matter. You might notice that when you walk into a room, he straightens his posture, lowers his tone, or becomes more focused in his speech. If he was laughing loudly or being goofy with friends before, he might tone it down a bit. He wants to show that he can carry himself well in front of you, that he's not easily flustered or immature. This behavior is often rooted in respect. He sees you as someone important, and he wants to be seen as worthy of your attention in return. This calm exterior doesn't mean he's emotionally distant. In fact, the opposite is usually true. Inside, he may be overthinking everything, from how he looks to what he says, but he won't let it show. He's doing everything he can to present the best version of himself, hoping you'll notice his effort without him having to say a word. Even when situations are awkward or intense, he'll try to hold himself together so you see him as grounded and trustworthy. Sometimes this effort to stay composed can make him seem quiet or reserved, especially if he's usually more expressive with others. But pay attention to his eyes, his hands, or the way he breathes. Those little things often reveal his inner state. He might be nervous, but he's trying not to let it slip. His stillness, his control, and his gentle responses are all ways of silently saying, "I care what you think of me." In a world where many people try to stand out by being loud or flashy, a man who remains calm in your presence is showing a different kind of strength. He wants to be someone you can feel safe with, someone who brings peace rather than drama. And through that quiet composure, he's revealing just how much your opinion matters to him, without ever needing to say it out loud. 9. He randomly appears where you are, acting like it's a coincidence. When a man is silently trying to impress you or get closer to you, one of the more subtle behaviors he might show is suddenly appearing in the places you are, while acting like it's just a coincidence. It may seem casual or unplanned on the surface, but often it's very intentional. He might not openly say he came there hoping to see you, but the timing and frequency of these random appearances usually reveal his true motivation. He wants to be around you, even if he has to pretend it just happened by chance. You may notice he shows up at the same cafe you like, joins the same events you attend, or lingers in spots where he knows you'll pass by. If you work together or go to the same school, he'll find reasons to be near your usual path, hang out in the same hallway, or take breaks at the same time as you. He might start showing interest in things you mentioned liking, even if they're new to him, just to have a reason to be there too. It's his quiet way of placing himself in your world, hoping to cross paths naturally. What makes this behavior interesting is how he plays it off. He'll act surprised to see you, flash a smile, and make casual conversation as if it were all by chance. But behind that relaxed attitude is often a lot of thought and effort. He's not trying to stalk or pressure you. He's just looking for safe, low-pressure opportunities to be seen, noticed, or to share a brief moment with you. It's his version of bumping into you, but with feeling behind it. These moments give him a chance to gauge your reaction, build comfort, and deepen connection without needing to take a direct or bold step. It also shows he's invested in your presence. He thinks about where you might be, when you might be there, and how he might be able to interact with you in a natural, effortless way. And while he might never admit that he came hoping to see you, the pattern often reveals the truth. At its core, this behavior is driven by longing and curiosity. He wants to be close to you, even if it means pretending it's all just coincidence. It's a quiet, emotionally safe way of showing that you're on his mind and that being around you, even briefly, means more to him than he's willing to say out loud.